So DJI have released a new FlyApp 1.19.4. Along with that is a new firmware for the Mini 5 Pro and also a firmware for the RC2. And not forgetting this little fella, if you can remember this, the DJI Neo, and also the Neo 2. Let's do this. So hello and welcome once again to the channel on this very fine day here in the UK. And DJI have released some new firmwares and a new FlyApp. What's it all about? Well, the FlyApp 1.19.4, as I've just said, there's a firmware update for the Mini 5 Pro 01000400. That brings a couple of new features and a couple of fixes, which I'll go on to a little later in the video. And also 08010100 for the RC2 as well. So a lot to get through. So without further ado, let's have a look how to update it and what you should do. So if your update doesn't start automatically for FlyApp, the best thing to do is connect to the Mini 5 Pro and you select on the aircraft firmware and you click update. All that will do is download that particular update that you need to install, and you just click the update button just there and that will bring you with the update process. It will take a fairly decent amount of time. It was around about 15 minutes. You can see it's 2 gig, so it's quite a healthy one. So it's just a fix for the Mini 5 Pro and also the DJI RC2 controller as well. There's some issues on that. I have done a flight test, and there's also another feature that was added for the Neo, as I said earlier in the video, and the Neo 2 and the Flip, which I'll come on to later in the video. Now, with every update, it's always best to check your menu settings because it is a FlyApp update, and it's also a Mini 5 Pro firmware update as well. So it's always best to check your settings, making sure that your gain and expo tuning settings are set correctly as there was before. And it's always best to double check that your return to home settings are correct. I've looked through the menus, and as you can see just here, nothing's actually changed as far as the UI is concerned. But you can see there that the FlyApp has been brought forward with the firmware to 1.19.4. So I'm just going to take the Mini 5 Pro out and do a quick fly around and test one or two things that was apparent before this last update, and the first one being the spotlight feature. Now, there was an issue with the spotlight when we was moving from side to side. You see it's in normal mode, and the issue was when it was in cine mode, and that's what I'm going to try just now. Just double check to see if that works. And it is actually working. So that's one fix that's been sorted. That's a spotlight that's been sorted out as well. So that's reassuring. So DJI has actually fixed that one. So we'll come out of there. Put it back into normal mode. Just going to fly out a little bit and just get this battery to deplete, because there was also that new issue with the return to home optimization for your batteries. Not quite sure what that was all about, but I'll try and deplete the battery as quick as I can.
Obstacle sensing unavailable. Fly with caution.
It's a little bit windy today, not too much. I'll just pop it on screen. What the weather's doing. There's a big flock of birds flying about. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a couple of quick shots.
3, 2, 1.
That seems to have worked absolutely fine. I'll go back into video mode. Flying with the RC2 today rather than the RC Pro 2 controller. It'll just be interesting to see what happens when that battery reaches around about 20%. It should be any time now, I would have thought. So we'll tap on that battery. 30 seconds. Well, it's not kicked in yet.
Battery level is low. Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
Okay, let's
Return
initiate
to
that.
home.
So that stayed at its current height, it didn't lift up. Well, I'm just going to cancel that, and then I'm just going to...
Low battery. Return to home promptly.
So one of the other features that was brought in was added support for the iWatch. So this adds support for real-time video transmission in aircraft battery level and using voice control for flight tasks when aircraft is operated via the Wi-Fi and paired with the Apple Watch, as I've just said. Now this is for the DJI Neo, the Neo 2 and the Flip. Basically what you need to do is you need to download and install on your Apple Watch the DJI Fly app. Then once you open the Fly app on your phone, there's no need to keep that open. You can put that back into your pocket, and then you can use your wristwatch or your iWatch, as they call it, as a wrist display, if you like. I'll just show you in this little video how it actually works. So okay, I've just done a screen recording on the iPhone, and I'm just going to go out and do a quick test with the DJI Neo, which is the original one. So you can see there on my Apple Watch, you can see that we've now got a video feed from the Neo. So I'm just going to nip out and just record this quick shot. Let me set it up first. You can see the video feed there on the watch. So it means that you don't actually have to have the app and hold the phone. You can use this as a monitor.
Landing.
It's extremely windy today. It's just picked up. So there we go. In the summary, you've got a new firmware for the Mini 5 Pro, as I showed you in the video, and the spotlight feature has now been fixed in cine mode, so that's good news. Also, there's a little bit of a gimmick, if you want to call it a gimmick, if you like, with the Neo and the Neo 2, and also the Flip, which I don't own the Flip anymore, but that feature is also available on the DJI Flip as well. The RC2 firmware, I think that just brings in the new Fly app 1.19.4 as well. So as you saw in the video, you need to do that firmware on the RC2 to bring that Fly app forward for the RC2. So there we go. What's your thoughts? Is that something that you'll use with your Apple Watch? Might be a good idea, I suppose, if you want to keep your phone when you're using the app and you're using the Wi-Fi with the Neo or the Neo 2. You can then shove that in your pocket, and if you've got the Apple Watch, you can then use that as a wrist monitor just to view the video live feed. Might be useful for the iOS users. I don't think it's something that I will use on a regular basis. I don't use the Neo an awful lot these days anyway. In summary about the return to home and the optimized performance on the return to home, I basically contacted DJI just to clarify what was actually changed with this, and basically their response to my call basically was, our engineers have optimized the algorithm, enabling the drone to better calculate the return path when encountering low battery conditions, thereby reducing the likelihood of accidents such as the crash or other dangerous issue. So I think what they've done is they've looked at the battery calculations and their algorithm, if you call it, and that's why I think on the flight that I did, it actually it came in a little bit later, 18%. Obviously, if I was out flying a little bit further out, then it would have kicked in a little bit sooner. So I just thought to just put the record straight on that one for you guys out there as well. So there we go, that wraps it up. That's the video. If you found it useful and informative, as always, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong and all the rest of it that goes with it. I'm sure you know me by now. And you might like to watch those couple of videos I've chosen for you over there. And if you do, I shall see you over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.